Hello and welcome to, well, a stream, because today was the proper stream day and yesterday was really me doing a makeup stream. So, well, not a makeup stream, you know what I mean, I was making up for the not streaming the previous day when I should have, not that I was putting on makeup. I'm off to a flying start and making puns unintentionally. So, yes, Warplanes. I've been meaning to stream Warplanes for a little while. I just haven't managed to get around to it. I have been playing it on and off since the 2.0 relaunch. I know I've not really done anything on YouTube since then, but partly that's because there aren't any replays. There's no replay system in the game at the moment, although they've said that's something they will re-enable. And I don't know why they disabled it, but I'm presuming it was some technical reason. And I just keep forgetting to record it when I do play it, and when I do play it, it's a completely variable experience, and I'm still a complete noob at it. So it seems more suited to streaming than me trying to record for YouTube anyway. So who knows? This might even go up as like a whole VOD on YouTube. We'll see. We'll see. So it's a weekend, and I could be playing warships, and I could be playing tanks, although yeah, I don't play tanks on stream very often, so I don't know what this means for the quality of play here in World of Warplanes, but I'm going to guess the effect is not completely dissimilar. It would have been nice, by the way, having opened with a theme. Well, first we had Dam Busters, the Dam Busters March, and then the opening theme from 633 Squadron. But I don't actually have the Mosquito. The Mosquito's the tier 6, and I've only unlocked up to tier 5. And it is the Brits I've been grinding the most here. So I've got my my Spitfire Mark 1 and my Bowfighter. I do have some planes of other nations, but rather low tier. And probably I have more premiums than regular planes at this point. Some which I already had on the account. There was one I actually got from watching... Was it Yuzril? I think it might have been Yuzril streaming it. Yeah, he had some codes to give away, and I actually got one of them. I think that was this plane here. And then when they did the relaunch with 2.0, they actually gave everybody a code for a couple of premium planes anyway. So yeah, I've got plenty of low and mid-tier premiums, and then I've also got tier 6 and tier 7 as well. So in theory, it's not that difficult for me to make credits, especially as my premium time, of course, is shared between all three games. So, yeah, no, it's not the same as the Broken Fighter in War Thunder, definitely not. Heavy fighters are a bit... Like, fighters are definitely where it's at. Fighters are the medium tanks of World of Warplanes. Fighters have the maneuverability to... get in and get out and you know, get into a turn fight and survive. You can't really run away in the same way that you can in War Thunder, and a big part of that is the hit point bars. As you're trying to run away, you're getting shot all the while, and your hit points are almost certainly going to run out before you manage to put enough distance between you and the enemy, basically. So with the heavy fighters, with the attacker planes, with the multi-role fighters, which are a bit less versatile or a bit less maneuverable, and especially with the ground attack planes and the bombers, if somebody gets on your tail, you're pretty much toast. But at least with the heavy fighters, if you get on somebody else's tail, they're likely to be toast because you've generally got heavier armament than they do. You've generally got cannons. But tier 5 is the tier where planes start to have cannons anyway. So we'll maybe actually take out the Bowfighter to begin with. I think I'm a ways off... no, that's not what I want. Upgrades, there we go. I'm a ways off getting the Mosquito. Where are we? 35,000 XP I need for that. And I don't even have the Bowfighter fully unlocked yet. So we'll probably just be doing some dailies, doing some credit grinding, and it'll just be me failing at the game, more or less. I have had some good rounds, but it tends to be in the fighters, because fighters are the easiest class to play. The yeah, the IL-2's in the game. I think that's a premium. I do actually have more than enough gold, because gold is shared between warplanes and tanks, and has been from the beginning. And, you know, it was promised that we'd have a unified premium currency in Warplanes as well. Some of us hasn't forgotten that. But, yeah, I've got more than enough gold that I could theoretically buy a bunch more premiums than I already have. Well, having said that, you know, the tier 8 premium planes still cost like 12k-ish gold. So the pricing is more or less the same across all the games for a tier 8 premium. So I could buy 2 of those, but I wouldn't have a lot of gold left after that. But on the other hand, they would be quite good credit earners. But I don't think I really want to spend the gold on that. I think I'd rather save it for just buying accounts time, which is what I largely have been doing. So it's the Thingamy map, and we've actually have the version, the iteration with the air bases. It does seem to, like, sometimes you get it with the missile bases instead. I think the airfields actually are fairly constant, but it does seem to, like, there is definitely variation as to what facilities, what the different strategic areas, I have no idea what we call them, are. I'm going to actually drop my bombs because I got a pair of underground bombs to begin with. I'm going to deploy the flaps and try and turn in on this AI fighter. And because this is one with airfields, repair airfields, you can be a bit less cautious about taking damage at the start, because once you've captured those points, not only can you spawn on them, but you can also repair on them. And the telltale is that little spanner symbol there. But I don't know why, like, I don't know
business is appreciated.
Why in some modes you get that and some modes you don't. I don't know. It's a bit confusing. Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. I'm going to try and catch up on follows in between the... I should be paying attention to what I'm doing, really. Catch up on follows in between the, you know, respawns, because I will die at some point when I do a respawn. Oh, okay, here's the enemy attacking. Dive down on this W189. So, a reasonable amount of damage, but I think I've got someone on my tail now. Use the boost. Well, when this came out, when I first did the video, they hadn't actually even reintroduced flaps at that point, so that has made a huge difference. You can, especially for the fighters, you can deploy the flaps and the FPS isn't looking too great. I might actually, I think it's because I'm doing this with OBS going at the same time. I might well give the graphics settings a going over. I might change the graphic settings, is what I'm trying to say there, somehow, in some fashion. Because it's running at about 25 FPS right now, and this is the high graphic setting. It doesn't run as well as World of Tanks still, and I think it doesn't even maybe run as well as World of Warships. Although when I record and stream World of Warships, that's usually not with like the maximum graphic settings. Right, let's actually turn away and gain some altitude. Tail especially. Altitude's still important, you know, that isn't really too different from War Thunder. But yeah, it is absolutely, like, you get in on somebody's tail and blat away, and if in a heavy fighter, if you're in a cloud of friendlies, it's fine. But if you have multiple enemies around you, and like if you get someone on your tail and you can't shake them, then at that point you're pretty much screwed. And you get assist on that guy. Yeah, there we go. I don't think I've had any actual kills so far, only assists. I could go back to the repair airfield, and maybe try and heal up, but I think that would take too long. We're not doing too badly so far. This is actually a decent start. I don't want to get cocky or anything though. But yeah, generally speaking, in my experience, the matches don't tend to be particularly close. It's unusual to have a close game. Usually it tends to, you just get kind of a runaway effect from fairly early on. Once the points start to snowball favour of one team. It's yeah. See, the fighters can do this a lot more effectively. They can kind of juke and roll, but even then, it's incredibly hard to get somebody off your back. Bomber down there. Or a ground attacker. Oh, I've actually used my injury boost. Jump that one turn up there. God, the FPS really does. The moment there's more than a couple of planes on screen, the FPS just goes right down. If it could at least stay over 30, that would be nice. Right, they've actually captured this, which means we're fighting over hostile AA at the moment, which is not so good. I do have my bombs back, though. So what we're going to do is we'll strike now. Actually, I didn't need to put both bombs on that target. See, this is me trying to, you know, make a low altitude speedy getaway, but there are now multiple enemies because they can spawn at this base, and you can only kind of jive and dodge so much in a heavy fighter. But it doesn't help that one of my engines is a bit knackered. If I get out of this, it's because people will save me, but no. The answer is no. I'm not going to get out of this. Right, let's can I set graphics down without it needing me to restart the client? Maybe, yes. Also, we had a follow. Who was the follow? Let's have a quick look. Alex Love 112. Thank you very much. So, no, this is still 22 FPS. This is me not even changing the individual graphics settings, just using the presets. Let's set it to low graphics settings. It has had a fair bit of development time in terms of the client at this point, but oh god, this looks terrible on low graphics. And it's still saying less than 30 FPS. Really, World of Warplanes? Really? Really? We're doing this? You're going to give me less than 30? Okay, we might as well stick it back up to medium then. I wonder if it'd help if I stuck it to actual full windowed rather than windowed borderless. Oh, and that has... oh, okay, that's made the thing really tiny. That probably looks weird on the stream, I expect.
Way to go.
Right, there we go. Okay, so, is that running smoother? I don't really think it is, especially... Oh, now I've just noticed OBS is showing everything being black. Okay, the perils of streaming, you know, live. Windowed borderless would be better, but... oh, wow. No, it's lost Warplanes completely. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, I'm now going to narrate World of Warplanes. It doesn't like that. It doesn't like World of Warplanes full screen. I'll fix the black bar at the bottom after... Yeah, I didn't mean to fly over this, but I'll fix the black bar at the bottom afterwards. This is not going according to plan at all. Yeah, it was running very slightly, like by a few FPS better full screen, but OBS was not picking it up full screen. Although I could just put it onto display capture rather than window capture, but that's kind of like the less good way of doing it. Pick up this low health straggler over here. Right, I mean this game should be over reasonably soon anyway, and we can try and sort this out. But it looks like we might be living with some kind of slightly sketchy FPS. It's not even like when I played Hold Fast Nations at War, where the FPS was kind of okay on my end, but it looked horrible on Twitch. It's actually running at like 25 FPS on my end. So it's not just like Twitch that's having a problem with it. My bomb should be just about that. Boom, there we go. It's a little bit chaotic. Let's try and space out my bomb drops a bit this time. I'm trying to save the bombs for the actual AA, you know, but... Let's got that one. Just bombing any targets, there we go, actually does help out. So we've now got this mid-base. Something somewhere? Oh, up there. Oh, never mind, I'm with one.
Head back home.
So be it.
Oh, thank you, Cyber Wraith. Hello, Cyber Wraith. How are you, by the way? Thank you for the sub. I do appreciate it. Right. Yeah. It seems like it's windowed borderless or not at all. Or I could stick on display capture, but then, you know, you might see my nerdy desktop again. Yeah, it takes a little while to get back into the hangar. How am I, Latika Mafia? I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad at all. I did debate streaming kind of later, more at the usual time, which is, you know, around 9 PM has become the usual-ish time. I did alright there, but we were top tier. And the team was kind of easily overpowering the enemy team, so that did help. Right, let's yeah, it's going to have to be a full screen, windowed borderless. There we go. Is there anything else we can... Some of the individual settings we can turn off motion blur entirely, in fact. Render quality, we'll leave that. Anti-aliasing, I think we'll leave that turned on because it looks fairly horrible otherwise. Turn down isotropic filtering. Turn that down. So we'll turn that down. We'll see how all this looks, but it doesn't look like we're going to get a good FPS whatever we do. Right, this is fine in the hangar, and it's fine when there's not a lot on the screen, but you get close down to the ground, or if there's a lot of other planes around, yeah, the FPS is not happy. So that's that daily done. That might even be enough for an upgrade. I can get the upgraded engines. I did have some engines unlocked from, was it the Spitfire? Or maybe the Blenheim, can't remember already, but yeah. So if I do that, research, and I can buy the upgraded engines, which gives me a bit more oomph. And I've got enough XP for something else, so we'll buy the upgraded dorsal turret as well. Another 81k, so that's all a little bit on the expensive side, but I do have plenty of premiums. I don't have equipment on a lot of these planes because the equipment... Well, it's kind of like Blitz. The equipment scales tier on tier, so you've got like low tier equipment and mid tier and then high tier equipment, and obviously the low tier stuff is cheaper, which is really how they should do it in tanks. The PC version of tanks. That's one of the things I like about Blitz, is that it doesn't penalise you when you're starting out and you don't have a lot of credits, and you can't afford to put stuff on. But those people that are going down to the lower tiers or grinding new lines or whatever, that do choose to put on the expensive equipment, are going to have an actual marked advantage. And that's always seems to be a bit, you know, they should level the playing field basically, and they don't. So it'll be a while, Jammy T Dodgers, you know. I don't have, like, I've got one tier 6 premium, and it's what, 35k to the bow fight, and I'm not even sure where I am on the Spitfire grind. So that's probably not even going to happen in this stream. I don't think I'm going to get a tier 6 unlocked in the course of this stream. It's really weird. It's really weird that OBS just will not find the EXE when it's actual full screen as opposed to windowed borderless. That's peculiar. I mean, windowed borderless is better for me when I'm streaming anyway, but still, it's peculiar. Yeah, that was the daily Far Berserker. Because it's a weekend, I'm guessing. Yeah, it really doesn't look that good on medium graphics with the things turned down, but it might run a little bit better when I'm streaming. When I'm not streaming, it's absolutely fine. But yeah, some games don't play that nice with streaming, and also, you know, one of the reasons why I want to upgrade my computer is also that the processor on this is getting a little long in the tooth. Right, is this one with the... Yeah, the two command outposts, which I think... Oh no, this isn't one with the missiles. So yeah, this is the variation showing itself. Right, nobody's going to that one, so let's stick with the middle group. Yeah, there's various different classes. You've got fighters, heavy fighters, ground attackers. There are now bombers, which is one of the new things with 2.0, and multi-role fighters. Thank you for the cheer, geriatric. Do appreciate it. 100 bits there. There was a message with that. I will read it after this game. Right. So this is us now in a highly manoeuvrable fighter, but we don't have cannons. So we're relying on peppering people with a whole lot of machine gun fire. God, yeah, on medium it really does look a bit janky. Oh god, the water looks so bad. Yeah, welcome to, you know, the very low fidelity World of Warplanes experience. This isn't even as bad as it can look. But mind you, you look at like the lowest possible settings you can put on World of Tanks and the highest possible settings, and there's a huge difference. Right, what's closest? I'm gonna watch my airspeed here, by the way. When the boost comes in useful. Head on pass, what can possibly go wrong? Whoop! It's because the heat broke off because I was it's not quite going the right way. No, he's come off worse from that, so that's alright. Whee! It is fun, all the kind of bobbing and weaving, but it can be a little disorienting sometimes. There we go, got him. Yep. Oh, the enemies actually captured this though, which is kind of annoying. In fact, they're capturing the third one as well. So this is me already thinking we're probably going to lose this one because it snowballs so quickly. Let's see if we can't this one coming in on me from above, but yeah, boy, gonna have to respawn very soon. Oh, an absolute tiny slither of health. There we go. What do I think of the economy? I think somebody was asking what I thought about the economy. And also, let's take a look at the... or was there a message with that cheer? How do I... Okay, there wasn't actually a message with that cheer. I'm not really high enough up to have a cogent opinion yet, but it seems okay. It's less generous with credits than World of Warships, but arguably, well, I'm not going to say from a player point of view they've made it too generous in World of Warships, but it's certainly in Warships, especially with the premium economy, there's very little difficulty running out of credits. The XP grind for things takes far longer than the credits grind does. You know, we don't have a single thingy area at this point, so we're probably going to lose this one in pretty short order, because this is only a 400 point game. And that's the other bit of randomization. Sometimes it's 800 points, sometimes it's 400 points, and I don't know how the game decides which it's going to be. Yeah, Warships is a lot more, like the curve is a lot more expensive in terms of getting up to the higher tiers, both in terms of experience and in terms of credits, but with the various flags and camos that you can have to boost your earnings, and all the missions that are kind of ongoing, and you know, the fact that you can get money from the containers, and just how much, like, you can make 1,000,000 credits in a single game with a tier 8 premium if you've got flags and if there's like a mission going, or you've got the right camos, or you know, a combination of all of the above. 1,000,000 credits is certainly possible, and that is what, like a 1/12 of the cost of a tier 10 ship in one game. I don't think you can really do that in World of Tanks. So it's just the way you can stack things, I think, in World of Warships. Oh, I actually collided with them, didn't need to do that. To really pump up the amount of profit that you can make. Wow, yeah, so it snowballs. It snowballs so quickly. We didn't take a single area. We didn't have a single victory point in that one, or whatever they call the points in this game. So yeah, the scale is completely different in warships. I think World of Tanks is by far, of the three games, probably the most parsimonious in terms of how much reward it gives you, even with the premium account. You know, if you make over 100k credits in a tier 8 premium, you're doing pretty well. And the only way to boost that is by using reserves, essentially. Or if you use an order from your clan stronghold. So I think for a while they tried to, well, not make it harsher, but they tried to soak up more of the credits. And I think they've kind of given up at this point in terms of soaking up huge numbers of credits from players. So you'll see people that play a lot that have like 100 million plus credits easily. Yes, free XP is shared between World of Tanks and World of Warplanes. I really don't play a lot of tanks these days, but just through the amount of World of Warplanes I have been playing, I've added several thousand free XP into that shared pool. And again, this is something they said was going to be shared with warships, but I think I'd be okay with them never sharing that particular pool of free XP, because the free XP economy again is different in warships, and I think they realised quite rapidly that like again, you can stack flags and camos on and get lots of free XP that way, and it would make getting things in tanks and warplanes incredibly easy with just the amount of, like, you can earn thousands of free XP in a single game, and in World of Tanks, if you get like 100 plus free XP, you're probably doing all right. Well, Jammy T Dodgers, I mean, I have no experience of the regular high tier planes yet, but like I say, it does seem relatively generous in terms of its credits. Things are a bit more expensive, I think, in terms of like putting on equipment and things, but I don't know, overall I don't have any complaints about the economy so far. I don't have any complaints about the grind especially, but that might change when I get to the high tiers. You know, World of Tanks, it's actually not that generous overall, and especially at the high tiers if you don't have a premium account. I think World of Warships, you could easily not have a premium account and you wouldn't necessarily be struggling badly for credits, but it would make the grinds a lot longer in terms of XP gain, because that's the real time sink is in XP gain. Unfortunately, my flaps there, never mind, it's only against a bot. Capture that. Wait, let's oh, tab, there we go. Oh, this is okay, this is weird. There's no, oh, this is really weird. This is okay, this is Conquest. So, oh, I see. Yeah, I haven't played this before. This is new. We get a command base that has a bomber call in, and the enemy team is, I guess, the defending team. They've actually got 2 cap areas, so it puts the onus on the team with only 1 cap area to actually go and attack. So this is kind of, you still have a cap area, but you've actually got to go and engage the enemy head on. So there's an attacking side and a defending side. Oh, yeah, I don't think I've played this. So they're going to attack our bot bombers, basically, I guess, because the bombers and rockets have the same effect. Essentially, they they knock out structures, and so it removes enemy control. Probably too far away for that to actually hit. Not on this 109, however. Man, if I was trying to pull these maneuvers with, like, I was trying to pull these maneuvers with a joystick or a gamepad, I would absolutely not be able to do it. It was a thing for years and years when I was playing War Thunder, I just could not play it with the mouse and keyboard. I could fly a lot better with the the thumb controllers on like a gamepad, but then it's really hard to actually ever hit anything. And I've never tried War Thunder with a joystick, by the way. So when I did finally make the transition and start using mouse and keyboard, I found I could, you know, sometimes hit stuff, but I was also flying a lot worse. So I don't know, swings and roundabouts. There's no perfect way for me to play War Thunder, really. Right, so I think the first bomber group got through. Does it just send waves of bomber groups? I guess it must do, for as long as we have that. I mean, World of Tanks, you know, it's past its prime, it's past its peak, I would say. But it's still one of the, you know, globally one of the most played free-to-play multiplayer games. There's a lot of other games in that kind of area economically that would absolutely love to have the numbers that World of Tanks has even now. Right, he's taking a fair bit of damage. The other guy should finish him off. I don't know if I don't really think they're going for the well, they're trying to go for the bombers. They might be. I don't think, I mean, Latiki Mafia, it's not going to just suddenly disappear. It's going to be a long trail off into the sunset with World of Tanks. And at some point, and it will be years from now. Okay, that second group actually just got pretty knackered. At some point, years from now, Wargaming will go, okay, we're going to pull the plug. It's not really making us any money anymore. But long before that point, you'll see them do things like consolidate servers and take similar actions. Who's shooting at me? I couldn't even really see who was shooting at me there. And okay, is it that guy? Is there a guy behind me? Now I'm behind him, so theoretically. Has he got a better boost than I do? Or is he just faster? He might be just faster. Because he's really packing on the distance. Oh, we are. This is a tier 6 game, and I think that's a tier 6 plane, so that's probably why. Whoa, let's avoid the bow fighter! No. Trying to get down underneath him, but I couldn't. And I'm being phoned, so that seems like a good time to... yeah, I'm just going to very quickly mute my mic.
Stay alert, pilots. Large enemy force spotted over the airfield.
So be it, Jedi.
Air supremacy achieved. Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy? Over.
Right, and I'm back. It was only a quick call. Oh, we're actually in control of all three. Okay, this is looking up. Do we need to go for that plane? Oh no, the bots should take care of it. Let's go and help out our allies. Oh, and as we've got the airbase, I think that means we'll be able to spawn a lot closer, but the enemy spawn is... like, there, I think?
Great job.
Oh, never mind. We won before I got to get back to the... yeah, that's how quickly the points can stack up. Yeah, I hope you all reported me for AFK there, guys. Battle duration, less than 7 minutes. It really is. It's quite quick fire, this game. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does... In a way, lots and lots of games in quick succession can almost be more tiring than than like longer games, like single longer games. So this is one of the things with Warplanes versus, for instance, Warships, or even things like League of Legends, which I know there are one or two people here that probably play, but it's entirely possible for a game of that to go on for like 45 minutes plus, and it's even things like Fractured Space. You know, you can have games of that go on for 40-45 minutes. So you can end up, you know, that's almost too long for me, but like a perfect length of game is probably more like, for me, like 15-20 minutes. Whereas a succession of very, very quick games is more tiresome more quickly, if that makes any sense. Which it might not do, I don't know. Anyway, so that was an amazing victory, which I obviously greatly contributed towards, obviously. Man, I didn't even do enough to... Okay, I unlocked the Spitfire to body, I guess you'd call it, rather than... What was its hull there? I unlocked the B hull, you guys. Which actually does look very slightly different, I think. So we can spot that. I spotted a little difference around the front of the cockpit. But otherwise it looked very largely similar. I could spend free XP on the cannons. I didn't have enough XP. I suppose I could have saved the XP. Right. We're going to need some credits after that. So we'll play maybe one or two of the premiums and maybe one of the low tiers of the other trees. I'm trying to think what... is that one of the... I don't even know. Let's take a look at the German tech tree. No, I haven't even unlocked any of the tier 2s. That one's actually a premium. So I'd need to play this a bit. See the amazing tier 1s in action. Wow, this isn't even fully upgraded. I think I was largely putting my efforts into the British tech tree. Okay, let's play a premium. Let's play the HE D100. Or no, not D100. The HE 100 D1. There we go. There is one thing that I might, maybe I'm just missing something here, but it seems like you can't use premiums to train pilots. But maybe can you, and I'm just missing something with how to do it? I don't know. Maybe somebody who's played this a little bit more than me might know. But it seems like premiums just need their own pilots. But maybe you can. Maybe you can use pilots from from planes. You can. You can, okay. I may have missed something.
So be it.
Oh, thank you for the sub, Bowo. You've turned up just in time, well, we've subbed just in time for me derping massively and not realising that apparently the premiums of this are, in fact, indeed, like the premiums for other things, and I've just been doing it wrong. Also, hey, Oak, how you doing?
And we shall win.
Right, so it's the same map again. There's not that many maps in the game. At least, maybe not the lower mid tiers. I don't think. You know, it might be at the higher tiers. There's other maps available. Oh, I missed Menthol. Oh, okay. Hang on, let's check the. I should have just checked the. Okay, yes. Thank you for also Menthol for the. That must have been while I was on the phone. So there's a double derp. I missed a sub. Well done, me.
Show me what you can do, pilot.
So, is this the same? Why isn't the... Oh, I've got the chat box selected. Why? That's why. Right, we're top tier. This is... Yeah, okay, this is one with the two command stations at each side. So this is kind of like the regular mode. But it's still called Conquest.
Your business is appreciated.
So I don't know. It's a bit... yeah. Thank you for the follow. Stormlead86, I think that was. So if I... Right, see if I can get my head around this. If I get the Spitfire 5, train... Oh, I'm going to have to tab out to, because somebody else said a thing, and it's very, I don't have a lot of space with the chat box. You can train that, you need to get 10k XP for that pilot on the Spitfire 5, and you can train that pilot skill points in any UK premium plane. I'm not sure I fully understand that, but do you mean that I can use the premiums to train up skill points, to pick up skills? Whoa, whoa, whoa! That was a bit too adventurous. That tone was a bit too adventurous. I meant to do that, you guys. Look, I didn't promise I was going to be good at this, for crying out loud. Oh, that was a good start. That was a very good start. Right. There's no air bases in this one, so we are always going to be starting from the small points. Who's it that said when we were on the intro about me, you know, the ground leaping up at me very quickly? Because that's kind of what happened. Yes, well, let's just go with that, Oak. Let's just say I was, yeah, perfecting my kamikaze skills. Anyway, let's have a go at the AI bombers. See, when there's really nothing on the screen, this is a good 40 to 50 FPS, although it really is jumping up and down between 40 and 50 by a fair bit. But, yeah, when there's a bunch of stuff on screen, it's not happy at all. It literally, you know, halves the FPS, so it doesn't really seem to be there in terms of optimization. And unlike, yeah, if this was War Thunder, I'd be like, shoot the engines, but no, you just have to hit them and you get hit points. So I don't need to step on the brakes quite that much. Yeah, we're actually going to let them cool down a little bit. Stop shooting me! They're very mean. I don't know if there's really any better way to do this other than to just fly up behind them and slowly whittle them down, because it does seem to, like, the AI gunners will take you out. But I guess if there's enough of you, right, we're gonna get, yeah.
Attention, all fighters.
But we took down some of the AI bombers,
destroy them.
and if my allies take out the rest, then yeah. A hole in my right wing, you say, Sombra? Indeed. Is that some kind of reference, perchance? God, how are 70 people watching me play War Thunder? Not War Thunder. Wow, I can't even get the name of the game right. World of Warplanes! Oh God, so many people watching me fail right now. Oh, there's another attack. Good Lord, how have they called in another one already? I think it triggers automatically. This is another one of the ways in which it can end up just snowballing really quickly, because suddenly, you know, you're all scrambling to deal with the incoming fighters to try and protect the sectors that you do have. And so that prevents you from going and attacking sectors to try and take them over.
The threat to the complex
So yeah, we're probably not going to win this one. This one's already snowballed past the point where we're probably we have no chance of actually. Whoa, that's coming up very fast. I completely meant to do that. That was fine. That was 100% my intent. But also, I don't know how I had so much more speed when I was stepping on the brakes, so to speak. Let's see if we can. Yeah, this is the part where, compared to War Thunder, it's a lot easier in War Thunder because you can just target specific rifle areas. And this, it's just, you know, you can cause critical damage, but you've still got to. Oh, yeah, that was a bit too close. You've still got to knock the hit points down, basically. But if you manage to set fire, for instance, that'll also, you know, you can burn out the plane that way. If you thought I was going to be good at this, I mean, really, what were you thinking? What's wrong with you? Oh dear. I do wish they'd... I mean, it's nice that the respawn mechanic's in, and I think that has made a huge difference to the playability of the game generally, but once you've died more than a couple of times, it does stack up. But the whole thing is geared towards quick games, basically. They're not trying to have people play, you know, long, drawn-out games that go for the full duration.
Hang in there.
And I'm guessing the average duration of a Warplanes game is probably not very long at all. Right, so the score lines come in, so after that point nobody will be able to spawn. I have had 1 or 2 games where, I mean, we're actually down on planes at the moment, but the people that, you know, are in to respawn will respawn. But I have had games where the score line comes in and we were actually losing badly on points, but not badly enough that we couldn't, like, kill the remaining enemies in the time. And of course, because they couldn't respawn. Like, this is 1 versus several planes, so this is absolutely not that good, but I do have allies coming in as well.
We cannot support you any longer. The
Deploy
storm
flaps.
is too heavy. Do you
He's
copy?
actually trying to get on the tail of my ally, so I'll try and put some hurt on
Enemy
him.
has control of all key objects. You cannot leave it like that.
Whoa! Extinguisher. Whoa! Yep, I see you trying to turn in on me. Still managed to clip me a little bit. Whoa, whoa, whoa! They're all going for me! Being a little bit persecuted at the moment, but anyway. I suppose I am a low health target. Right, they at least took out that guy. Yeah, once I die here, that's it. No more respawns. Ah, there we go. Never mind. Yeah, they're going to win this one. In fact, they have just won. 399.
Turn back.
There we go.
The enemy force is too strong.
It does. It snowballs so quickly. I could give that another go. I could actually maybe try another one of the premiums because I'm not really playing these for the daily, so I'm just trying to get some cash monies. So we'll have to try this with the now that I know you can put pilots in and train them up, because of course you can. That's 35k on a defeat. That's still all right. Let's try it with one of the. I don't really have any mid-tier British premiums, that's the only thing. The other nations that I have the premiums for don't really have pilots to train up from. I mean, if I was gonna, like, I don't know. Let's how do I do the pilots again? Okay, so we've got this guy. In fact, they're both, like, good pilots, but... Oh, he's actually a pilot that's from a different thing, so I've clearly somehow already figured out that. So if I sent him to barracks, for instance, and then can I, like, right click and no, I can't go right click and send to plane, so if I guess I have to send him to barracks as well, and then I don't know which pilot do we want. Let's just take that pilot. So that's fine, he'll just okay, so I could get, like, one really good Russian pilot, for example. Okay, so let's take the P-39 out. Yeah, I'll play the Zero next. I have a Canon Zero, which I think that was one that I got from a code or something. Don't you send the pilot? The interface is a little bit, because this is one of the things, because you've got different teams developing each of the three the wargaming titles. There's no, like, certain elements of the UI are relatively unified, but other bits in terms of the interface, in terms of, you know, the right-click menus and things like that, are just completely different between all three games. And it does sometimes catch one out. That's something that really, you know, you'd think they would have somebody somewhere that would be like, right, this is our unified, you know, this is how things are going to work across all three games. But no, it doesn't quite work like that. It's only to a fairly limited extent. I think the regular Tier 5 Zero doesn't have cannons. Well, I'll double check that on the tech tree.
Attention! You are entering the combat zone. Get ready for battle. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure this out with the pilots, because it's never occurred to me up until this stream somehow that that's a thing you could do. It's probably a thing you've always been able to do, and it just hasn't occurred to me because, you know, it's me we're talking about. Yep, there is a Cirque clan. There's actually... how it worked once upon a time was that the clans were completely unified between tanks and warplanes. And so this led to me, because I wasn't aware there'd been a split, this led to me during my video going and talking about it as if it was still the case that they were still unified clans, but no, at some point they split them. And so there were people in the Cirque 2 Warplanes clan that hadn't been in the Cirque 2 Tanks clan for a while and stuff like that. So yeah, but I don't know if the Cirque Warplanes clan is in any way active. But we've certainly, with Cirque 2 for Warplanes, cleared out a whole bunch of people that clearly, you know, weren't playing this, that were only in there because they were in the Cirque 2 Tanks clan, and so there's something like 60 places free at the moment. So yeah, Cirque 2 is the active-ish Warplanes clan currently. So we've got Cirque 2 in... Yeah, I'm commander of Cirque 2 in tanks, Cirque 2 in warplanes, and then Cirque in warships. Which almost makes me wish I'd called it Cirque 2 in World of Warships as well, because then it would have really confused people thinking there was a Cirque 1 somewhere lurking that they hadn't. But, you know, then somebody else would have made it, maybe. It wouldn't necessarily have been anything to do with Circle. Right, where are people going? Some people are going for the bombers. I think we'll stick with this group. Because if we can get this superiority of cap circles early on. Oh, I never know what to call them. Let's just stick with the cap circles. The cap circles, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it absolutely does seem to make a huge difference. Just the opening 2 or 3 minutes of the game seem to almost 100% determine the outcome of the game. Let's get closer to that. Whoa! Shot by something. That's just defensive gun and fire, however. I don't know what the range of the cannon is, to be honest. It will be longer than the... Oh, there we go, I got assistance. It will be longer range than the guns. The guns tend to be about 400 to 500 meters. It really varies a bit. Hey, Gitseki! Well, I mean... I can see the appeal of having my, air quotes, own clan, but... everything I've done, everything, like YouTube and here now on streaming, and just the fact that I have this as a job now, it literally is all thanks to Circon. It really does all go back to Circon. So in some ways it's a reflection of that. We lost the middle. Okay, that's not so good. But people seem to be going for this this next door base right here. So let's go for that. So yeah, it is. It absolutely does come back to all back to Circon, because if I hadn't started, if he hadn't just plucked me out of the stream way back when he was a wee little young streamer who had just barely started, and a good stream was where he had 200 viewers. Yeah, if he hadn't just plucked me out of the chat because I don't know, he thought I was funny or whatever. None of this would have started. I wouldn't be here today. So it does. It all comes back to Circon. So there you go. There's a little bit of reminiscence for you. Reminiscing, even. Let's try and get the drop on this A7M. It's probably a terrible position to be doing it from below, but if you can land a cannon hit, the cannon hit's absolutely do pack a punch, but it also has a very, very low kind of tolerance for how quickly you can fire it, what the cooldown is. Well, he's been doing it for what, 4 years? Something like that. I mean, when I was playing with Zircon first, I had more games than him. Can you believe that? I actually had more battles played in World of Tanks than Zircon, which, you know, didn't last too long because he was streaming hours and hours every day. But yeah, I think he overtook me at around about the I can't even remember where it would have been in terms of numbers of battles played, but many thousands of battles anyway. Wow, that's an encouragement. Even Lucifer stepped up one day to start his own thingy. Yeah, those are the inspirational words I was looking for, German somebody. I don't know why that's so amusing to me, but anyway. I'm the devil, apparently. I mean, if that's how you see me, I guess.
Keep it up. Victory is almost ours.
I don't know if I'm going to be starting any new lines, but I'm going to just try and stick with the Brits, the fighters and the heavy fighters, just to kind of see what the grind is like. Right, oh, pull up. Whoa, it's fine, that was completely fine. Yeah, I want to get a sense of what the grind is like, what the progression is like, and you can do that much more readily if you're just concentrating on, you know, single lines, basically. The same as is in any of the other games, of course. Right, air defense P40. I mean, it's not vital that we take this back. We could do with taking it back. It would be very useful to do so. And there's a big cannon in this plane.
The command centers are under our control.
Oh, it's not because I actually killed it, it's because we got control of it. Never mind.
There's a heavy storm here. Unable to proceed.
Right, so no respawning from this point forwards. Hey, Philo Farnsworth, how are you today? Ooh. No, don't even think I got an assist on that. Yeah, this is, and again, it kind of snowballs. We actually have 2 areas each at this point, but we're almost at 600 points in this case. So yeah, we've pretty much just won this. You'll have to speak up, I'm wearing a towel. Well, that's one of the more unusual sentences I've read.
Large enemy force is attacking the command center.
It's well known that wearing a towel impedes your ability to hear. Although I suppose, you know, it could do if you had it wrapped around your head. Because, for instance, you're trying to stay safe from a ravenous bloodbatter beast of Thrall. You know, that would be a very good reason to have a towel wrapped around your head. Just as an example. Well, that was a reference. So, yeah. Did we miss any follows or anything in there? Let's have a look. I think we did, yes. Ivik Roy, thank you very much for the follow. I find it easier to feed than my mother-in-law. Good call, Menthel. Good call. So that should have been an okay amount of credits. I think that was actually fewer credits than the last game, even though this is a higher tier plane. But the credits do seem to be, like, the result that you get. Like this guy here in the Hornet will have actually done quite well. It seems to have more variation from kind of top to bottom in terms of your own personal performance. So the better you do, by far the better income you'll earn. Whereas it seems a lot shallower of a curve in, say, World of Tanks. Well, there's less variation from top to bottom of the curve, or I don't know what I'm trying to say there exactly, but Anyway, so yeah, somebody was saying about the Zero. Yeah, so this is a premium Zero, the A6M3 experimental. I think the regular one's the A6M2. And I'm not sure if it has any cannons. It does, okay. 2x20mm Type 99 ones, apparently. And this has, if we can find, a 30mm cannon. Two 30mm cannons. So that's the difference between the the M2 and the M3 experimental. Bigger cannons. Where even are the cannons? Is that them in the nose there?
So be it.
I guess it must be.
Jedi.
Thank you for the subscription, Philo Farnsworth. I almost said follow there. Thank you for the subscription, sir. Very much appreciated. Yeah, the Aerocobra. It's a bit of a weird story, that one. Because Bell, was it Bell like developed it themselves rather than in response to a specification, and then the US Air Force didn't want it, but the Soviets were perfectly happy to have it. And then as it turned out, for the kind of air warfare that was going on the Eastern Front, it was actually pretty well suited, whereas on the Western Front, or you know, elsewhere, you know, in the Pacific and over Europe, it was actually a lot less suitable. It was something like that. Also, thank you for the follow. Let's see who that was. Nero Matti. Thank you very much. I've a vague memory of that being the reason.
Cover your allies, hit the enemy, and we shall win.
But it's odd that I mean that wasn't always. That's a bit of an unusual case with the P-39 / P-63. But there were other cases where companies just developed a plane of their own volition and offered it. The Mosquito was actually one such.
You are approaching
interestingly.
the front line. Off we go.
And just the idea then, even then, of a plane, you know, made of wood was ridiculous. It seemed completely ridiculous, but it turned out to be massively successful, in part because it was a very good plane in its own particular role, but also they could manufacture quite a large proportion of it in places where you couldn't make a normal plane. You know, like piano factories and carpentry workshops and stuff could be repurposed to make planes, which just wasn't the case with other aircraft. I probably shouldn't be going... Well, actually, no, there's a couple of planes here as well. Yeah, the P-63 is later. It is later, but you know, it basically was a direct development of the P-39. Oh, that's a rather spectacular way to learn that the flak is opened up in front of me. The flak effects aren't too bad, although, you know, they look better on the higher graphics settings. It's really a pity I can't play this on the higher graphics settings. It is much more likely to be my processor rather than either OBS or the client. But I mean, having said that, it is a little bit the fault of the client, because warships and tanks run far better when being recorded and or streamed. So there's definitely some iffy optimization. Right, we've got some fights coming in. Let's actually... this A6M2's got exactly the same thought. Well, I was trying to pull up, and he then pulled up at the same time. So that didn't go as planned. Although, as I'm in a Japanese plane, you know, I can just claim I'm role-playing, right? Yeah. Yeah, one of those things that like determined whether or not, like, climates are different, and the kind of warfare that's going on really dictates how effectively certain aircraft could be used. But I do not claim to know any serious level of detail about any of this stuff. Right, we've got 2, they've got 3, so we need to take 1 back from them. I actually put some, I've only got perma camos on a couple of them, but this is one of the ones. I put perma camos on some of the premiums, because obviously I'm not going to be selling them anytime soon, but not really any of the regular planes. And they do give you a slight, like, spotting, like a slight camo bonus, essentially, but that doesn't honestly seem to really matter that much in Warplanes, because there's very little sneaky in World of Warplanes. You are mostly just fighting these giant furballs. So if we can take the pressure off that guy. Oh, so I've got somebody trying to get on my tail as well. So for this kind of thing, if I was in a heavy fighter, I'd probably be a bit screwed, but being in a fighter gives you a hell of a lot better chance of actually surviving and outturning, just manoeuvring to to stay alive and not get completely blattered. Right, where's this heavy fighter? Down below. So we can capture back the middle, which we might be able to do. That would be pretty good, but I don't know if we've got any... No, we've got an IL-2, and I think that's it. I don't think we have any bombers. There still aren't that many bombers, because the only bombers there are premiums. And honestly, this is a criticism I could make. The missions to get the bombers were incredibly grindy. Super grindy. So I only got a couple of the tokens and a couple of the crates. And eventually they'll come on sale as just regular premiums, but yeah, it is super grindy. Right, we're just hanging on. We've got 47 hit points, but we have captured the middle, so that's going to try to figure out where they are. There's one. 43. Oh, and while I was looking around, he was firing at me, which is, you know. Right, we're gonna end up getting killed and respawning at some point very soon. Yeah, there we go. But I feel like we did okay there. But we are down on points. This might be a slightly closer game. I can't believe there's so many people watching me fail at War Thunder. I keep saying War Thunder! World of Warplanes! Wow. If Mr. Conway or somebody was here right now, they'd be very displeased that I keep saying the competitor's game. Oh dear. Anyway. Well done, brain. Well, I was trying not to die generally, Dominios, but I was so low on health at that point that it was a little bit, you know, I didn't really have a lot of choice in the matter. Right, where are people going? I think we'll fly to the centre because they're likely to press in from that side.
We'll soon be unable to provide support.
But I think we are, even though we're not that far behind, I think we're going to be hard pressed to take back one of the points in time. Stop using white ammo and use blue credits ammo. Am I making a noob mistake and using like the free ammo when I should be using the... Okay. Yeah, here we go. I thought they would probably try and press in on the centre. This is actually not that good because there's loads of them, and that HE-112 is screwed.
The enemy is concentrating near the plant.
Let's get a little bit of.
That's it. There's no way to break through you now.
Let's get a little bit of altitude, maybe. Wait for some allies to turn up. Any time now. In fact, we can also ping the minimap. Whoa! Hello. And they caught up awfully quick. Oh god, that's half my health gone. Attack. Nope. Got shredded. Yeah, this thing really doesn't have any armour. But, yeah. I was kind of hoping allies would turn up a little sooner, but everyone's coming in dribs and drabs at this stage, so yeah, we've lost. This is a bit closer than most, but still, once the enemy team achieves that that superiority, it's quite difficult to break it. I guess we might as well go back to hangar then, and I can actually look at the something I hadn't really investigated was the ammunition options. So we have a quick look at that on one of the Brits, maybe, for instance. So service, I guess. Where would I be looking? Ah, here. Okay. Okay, I appear to be using the blue ammo. It was the blue ammo you were saying, right? On that one, I guess I'm just using the standard. Yeah, okay. So I did actually have it on the setup on the Beaufighter, and then apparently I've just not done it with my other planes. Okay, so yeah, this is going to cost you a bit more, but well, we'll see what this adds to the credit costs. To be quite honest, because obviously it is gonna add a chunk. Well, that one's weird. I had it set for one lot of ammo, but not the other. Okay. Let's see if the planes have actually been flying any amount. I'll do the rest later, but these are the ones I'm likely to. I'm a dummy. You know, at the start I said, "Oh, I don't have a mosquito." Of course, I've got a bloody mosquito. It's right bloody there. Oh, God, Bennett. Well done, Bray. Well done. Okay, yes, I did have a mosquito. I played the flipping 633 Squadron theme tune, and then I was like, "Oh, I don't have a mosquito, you guys." Oh, what a ninny. What a complete ninny. Anyway, let's play the mosquito. Oh, that was a derp. That's so unusual for me, right? That's so unusual for me. Yeah, I've got the Chinese mosquito, the premium one. But it's still a mosquito. Even if it's not, you know, got proper RAF colours on it.
Attention, you are entering the zone controlled by the enemy.
Is the Oka in the game? That's Japanese, right? I don't know. Somebody else that plays more than me and is more familiar with the tech trees than me is... I've been playing this at like total filthy casual scrub level. You know, once or twice a week I'll log in, play for half an hour, and that's it. This is the longest I've played in probably a couple of weeks.
Pilots, get ready for action. Let's go.
Okay, this is 5 caps, and we want one of the airfields first. Right, I think it's R for rockets. You can use spacebar for your bombs, just like War Thunder, but you can also use B, and then I think you use R for rockets. Whereas in War Thunder, when I finally got a plane that had rockets, it took me bloody ages to figure out how to actually fire them. Right. Is that kind of just more or less on target, I think? Boom boom. Don't think they interact with the trees. I don't think you need to worry about that. Oh no, that was way past. Plus I've also got 2 bombs to distribute. One there. Oh. Now, one thing that is kind of like, they won't start recharging until you've expended the entire payload, basically, so... Yeah, I've got that set, Diminios. Somebody pointed that out when I did the video on YouTube originally, so It's just I need to remember to do it. The only thing is, it would be nice if it didn't also then toggle the different looking mini-maps. So I do actually toggle back and forth to look at the stock mini-map, as it were. As it were. So there's a couple of planes over here, but. The cannons do sound pretty good. Right, I've got one bomb left. Actually, let's go for that. It's going to be a while before all the ordnance regens. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a hill. That's a hill. That is, in fact, a hill. So that was meant to happen. Oh dear. Anybody watching this is going to, you know, yeah, that's what it was, Aging Jedi. I was trying to find the handbrake to do a handbrake turn, and I didn't quite get there in time. One thing that would be nice is when you die and respawn, it'd be nice if it cut down some of the reload timer a bit. I can see why they wouldn't want it to be an instant kind of reloading your bombs and rockets, but it would be nice if it would at least cut it down a bit. Right, oh, that's a whole bunch of planes there. Get in on the tail of this ME410.
Be extremely careful.
Daka, daka, daka. The cannons do sound good, but lordy lord, this is doing bad things to my frame rate. Daka, 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 daka. But we still haven't taken this. You got to be a bit careful when it changes control and the things spring up again, because at least once I've been killed by like a thing springing up in front of me, and then I just flew right into it as the base building respawned, where previously, of course, it had just been a pile of rubble. Where is everybody? I think they're all above me. I'm trying to get some height here. Oh, also, we've got, actually, having said let's get some height, I can actually help win the base. There we go. Bring in the flaps. Whoa. Yeah, I've got the flaps key bound, because I know that's kind of not by default. Right, I'm feeling a little bit vulnerable, but the rest of them are fighting rather higher up at the moment. So don't run, little IL-2. I want to play with you. Whoa! Hello. Is that someone on my tail, or is that just his gun? It's a little hard to tell sometimes. It's going to take some dacketing because the IL-2 is ridiculously tough, but there we go. One less IL-2. No, how are we not... Nah, I think again the enemy's winning. Yeah, I have been caught by a bomb blast once or twice. But I think he was a bit too high up for that. Right, we've got lots of high altitude action going on at the moment, so that base isn't really under that much of a threat, but it's then kind of harder to get up there.
Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support.
Well, these guys are all still
Copy?
quite
Over.
far away, apart from that one. Whoa! Okay, that one guy who's decided I look tasty. I've never yet successfully rocketed somebody, you know, another plane.
Your business is
Whoa.
appreciated.
Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. I'll get it after I'm done with this acrobatics. Seems to be flying upside down at the moment. But there we go.
We cannot support you any longer.
So we can close the distance on this Mustang.
Do you copy? Over.
If you can land the cannon hits, they do a boatload of damage. There we go. Is there a chance we'll... No, probably not a chance we'll win this, but we get some more damage, some more kills out of it, it's all good. Whee! Unlikely to be able to get into a win a turning fight with this guy, but he's got someone else on his tail now, so that's fine. I just need to avoid taking too much damage. Oh, that was a little bit close. A little bit. Oh, but now he's got 109 on his tail as well, so let's see if we can't do something about that. But this is not ideal. This is absolutely not ideal. I should probably just be trying to run, but of course if I try and run, he's just going to be on my tail and kill me anyway. So, yeah, I'm not sure my chances of survival are particularly good.
Keep it up. Victory is almost ours.
You have to ask for permission for Link's Dominios. We've got well, Moobot, as you can see, set up. I mean, we're ahead on points, but we're down on planes, which does make a difference. My performance there wasn't completely horrible, though. Not completely horrible. Only mildly horrible. Actually, I'm just going to use this opportunity to grab myself some more water, so I'll be back in just a second. Let's have a quick look at the chat. Oh, you're all talking about planes. It's curious, that. Should we watch the rest of this? Or I think we're just going to run out of planes, to be quite honest. How do I get rid of the map? How do I make the map smaller? Is it possible? Oh, yes, okay. Is the answer. Oh, there we go. That's what I want, I think. Yeah, the options for watching, you know, everybody else fighting are okay. It'd almost be nice if there was a free cam, but I'm not sure that would really work that well. Because it'd be kind of hard to follow what's going on. So I guess this is probably as good as you're going to get it. Hey, Ginge! It's not terrible, though. It's not terrible. Oh, hey, we actually won. We hit 800 points. We were running out of planes, though, but we actually won that. So that's not bad. That was one of these rare close games. That's been the only close game of the stream so far. They do not happen often. Yeah, I don't have the reflexes for all the controls yet, Oak, definitely. Right, I think most of my contribution to that one was firing at ground targets, basically. And apparently I did something that got me a token. the Johnson Medal Class 4, which is this thing, awarded for destroying at least 30 enemy ground targets. It seems a bit odd that a medal for destroying ground targets. I mean, okay, he was an ace pilot, but you would think that would be, you know, named after somebody who was a famous ground attacker pilot or a famous bomber pilot or something. But were there any famous bomber pilots? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really know my aerial history that well. So that was a win. That wasn't completely terrible. We didn't get any of the I don't even know what you call those, the thingamy things. The grades, there we go. My score was actually second best on the team. My performance, my combat points. But my grade, I didn't even get a grade 1, so. Anyway. So that's the Mosquito, with all of the rockets and the bombs and things. But it sounded like from the chat that the actual thing was better. The actual British Mosquito is better. I've also got the P-51. I can maybe take that out for a spin. See what tier 7's like. Could use the credits.
Your business is appreciated.
Thank you for the follow. Oh, good lord, that's her name. Well, we had one earlier. I'm just checking the list. Delphic Ratio. Thank you very much. And Teknstrudisk. I don't know. I don't have any idea, but that's the best I can do. Let's just call you Tech. Yeah, I mean, I figured out with the grades that it's there as a kind of a mark of it's like a secondary thing. So you've got your performance overall for the stuff that you've done, and then you've got the grades, which are there as a mark of how well you've been doing the things that are related to that particular role of aircraft. I understand the principle. It's just I couldn't remember the name. Right, so P-51, tier 7, and we are actually top tier. Oh, the enemy team have a Meteor. Spitfire Mark 9. We've got some kind of slightly scary planes. Me-265, I think. Oh, that's a jet aircraft.
You are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
Or is that a propeller pusher? I know that's a propeller pusher plane. And an FW-190. These are all slightly, you know, I'm probably going to be horrible. You know, more horrible than I've been already. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. He's starting to understand Caption Guy a little better.
Pilots,
Nah, he's just mean for the sake of being mean. It's definitely not warranted, because I'm just the best at everything. I'm just totally the best. Oh dear, someone who's recognised me. That doesn't happen often. It actually hasn't happened that often at all in Warplanes, people recognising me. Also, this map is one I haven't seen very often. Day of Reckoning. No, Alpine... Wait, is the map called Alpine Gambit? Or is it called Day of Reckoning? Or is it called the whole thing? Because that's a bit... I don't even know. Anyway, so, let's stop getting distracted and actually shoot the things. Oh, I'm actually too far away. What am I doing there? Right, don't fly to the ground this time. Good. Whoa! Yeah, that was good. That was meant to happen. Honest. Wow, there's now nearly 80 people watching me play this. No pressure. Astronauts cheat. You know what? You're right. I should have been playing Kerbal Space Program the entire time. We could have stuck on more boosters. Right. Okay, this is interesting. We've actually got the airfield on that side and then the factory on this side. So they're going to be able to spawn at that airfield and put pressure on here, but we can spawn at that airfield and put pressure on there. So we're probably going to lose this and we're probably going to gain that. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have been trying to strafe the... I don't know, but it sometimes seems like nobody else is trying, and sometimes you end up with a team where there aren't any ground attackers or bombers to really go after the points, and so it ends up being a case of, well, you kind of have to in a fighter. That's really just down to the matchmaking's being nice to you or not. Right, let's see if we can help out this IL-2. That's 109, so that's going to be, what, tier 6? Doing a bit of damage. Whoop. It's all getting a bit frenetic. But I'm guessing, you know, planes are just faster at tier 7 than tier 5. Woohoo! So that's going to be a big part of it. There we go. Who was it that was behind me? There we go. Whoa! There we go. He's noticed I'm there. And that's also a hill. I am cognizant of the fact that there's a hill. We've already had some close passes with hills, so... Whoop. So we can turn in inside. I don't want to get hit by his cannons. I'm presuming he has cannons. This is very awkward terrain to be fighting next to. I don't particularly want to open out the distance. I'm kind of hoping somebody else is going to come in and help it, but they might also be occupied elsewhere. Right, I landed a couple of hits. I really want to go after those bombers attacking that point. Come on! Come on! This is ridiculous, this turning fight. Is it worth trying to climb up and out and just get some distance, maybe? Or is that just going to get him on my tail? Yeah, I think that's just getting him on my tail. Right, there we go. Someone actually finally killed him. Oh, Day of Reckoning's the arrangement of the objectives. That actually does make some sense. Whoa! Nearly clipped. Yeah, that was completely, you know, intentional for me to pass that close, and yeah. That's a funky looking plane, that 263. Did I just get cannoned by something? Because it kind of feels like I did. It's quite a big chunk of health. Right, what have we got? We've only got one area at the moment, one cap point. Let's just keep calling them cap points. And we're just kind of stuck defending it, so again, they're rapidly marching towards winning this one. It snowballs so quickly. Well, I'm not landing my hits very effectively here. This guy is doing his best to dodge.
The enemy has control of all
Come on.
You cannot leave it like that.
So annoying if he gets away with just like 50 hit points. Of course, the heavy fighters do get a much bigger boost. No, he got to live. Never mind. But we'll have made some credits. I mean, that's the main point of playing the premiums. Just to make some credits. And 52k, I think that was. Well, actually, it won't have been that much because... does it tell me what my final profit was anywhere? Minus the Because it says here plus 52, but then, you know, minus the... Oh, is that including the... Okay. I guess the 52k is including the costs. Yeah, I was third on the... In terms of the... You know, that wasn't completely terrible. Oh, someone's actually... That was the guy that recognised me. Right, shall we have another go in, I didn't even see what points I'm on for the, either the Spitfire or the Beaufighter. We'll, upgrades, that's what I want. We'll see where we are. 34 point, yeah, so I need nearly the entire research cost, and I've still got upgrades to unlock for the Beaufighter as well. So we'll just have maybe another round or two in both these planes. Was someone asking me for a date? I don't think that was it, Korpenflieger. I don't think that was it. Also, hello, Ikiboo. I'm guessing you're a Warplane streamer.
You are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
Right, Plateau. This one I've definitely
Your
played
business is
before.
appreciated.
Oh, thank you for the follow. What was that? Lilith? Lilith. One of those. One of those. If you try enough variations, one of them's bound to be correct, right? Oh, well, there you go. Ikiboo is apparently also a streamer. So, you know, if you really like watching people play World of Warplanes, and you're not just here for the curiosity value of me playing World of Warplanes, then, I don't know, go and give them a follow. Why not? What's the worst that can possibly happen? Yeah, this is Plateau Advance. So this is one with airfields. Lilith, I would say it's enjoyable in smaller doses, and I did actually mention earlier, this is the longest stretch I've had playing World of Warplanes in about like 3 weeks, and it tends to be I'll play half an hour in a single session, but that seems to be, to me, how they've structured the game. That they've built the timing, as it were, around the idea that you just jump in and have a couple of quick games, rather than warships where you can easily play hours and hours and hours of it. So it's almost the principle of, you know, the Blitz versions of both tanks and warships now as well, of course, but brought into the actual kind of the progenitor game, the PC version. We've not actually quite captured this yet. We're almost, but not quite there. Maybe if I go after this boomerang. Oh, there we go. That's been enough. Unfortunately, they've gotten the airbase right next door, so that means they can then spawn on it. Cool. Something else shooting me as well, I think. What's the good news with him manoeuvring wildly? He's unlikely to be using his. Yeah, he's just using his boost to get away, but he's lost most of his health in the process. Yeah, it is that he's unlikely to be able to use his manual rear gun aim. Right. I think we're just going to end up getting blown up. We might be able to get some health back from the thingamy, from the passive heal. I haven't quite figured out the entirety of that mechanic yet in terms of like how long you need to be out of combat, or you know what the trigger is for that coming back. But there we go. So I've healed up to 86 from 70 whatever, so I was nearly at the threshold already. But that's I don't know if you recall a warships video, a cruiser video I did like maybe 2 weeks ago, where I was basically talking about, you know, maybe this would work for warships as well, for cruisers. And oh no, I've got one behind me. Didn't even notice. Where you could take a cruiser out of combat, sit behind an island, and after 30-45 seconds, you heal back up to like, I don't know, 10% of your health or something. Yeah, I figured out the air bases being able to heal, but the air base that we've got was like on the other side essentially. So, right, we probably want to go for the middle, because at the moment we've got these two outside ones. If we can take the middle and then maybe concentrate on that one and keep this cluster of 3. That's my thoughts, but you know, who knows what the rest of the team is going to go. We're gonna lose that base there for sure. Definitely. Bourbons are okay, but they only work in coffee. Whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, if we're talking the chocolate bourbon, then that's almost heresy. That's why would you say that? Bourbons are fantastic with everything. I will quite happily just sit and eat a packet of chocolate bourbons on their own. Only good with coffee. And there was me thinking, you know, I might have some respect for opinion, but nah, that's all gone out the window now. Bourbon's only with coffee. Well, you can have bourbons with tea. Of course you can have bourbons with tea. Of course you can. Get out of here. That's it. He's gonna tell all of his viewers now that I'm an untrustworthy person, and you know, clearly don't know what I'm talking about, and I probably murder puppies for fun because I like bourbons with my tea. I don't know where I'm going with that thought. Anyway, God, there's a bunch over that side. I don't know which side we should be pushing on exactly. But first we might do something about this P-51 that's being a bit cheeky. Dack, 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 dack. There we go. That should be an assist. Oh no, that was actually my kill. Nice. Oh, oh. Okay, I didn't know there was a key for that. I just accidentally discovered there's a key to... I don't even know what key was it. A Q! Ha! There's a rear view mirror. I did not know that.
Hang in there. You'll soon be caught. I say again.
I've got a friend, you guys. I've got a friend. And he's slightly knackered my engine. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem. A little bit of a problem. We're going to have to make it... Oh, there we go. The engine's magically come back. Anyway, right. I think we should probably go and protect that cap, because we need to protect our majority. Well, that's a point. Yes, we could go and fly to get a repair. But it might be, well, actually, having said it, it'll be quicker to just crash. Actually, the squall line has appeared, so... If I crashed at this point, I couldn't respawn. Oh, also somebody has, again, recognised me. I don't know if you have to fly low. I've always done it by flying low along the runway, but I don't know if you just have to fly low. And it doesn't matter which orientation you take. Right, we're actually slightly ahead of them on planes at the moment. And it's giving me a little red... Oh, there we go. It's turned blue and fully healed me, so that's what we want. So one guy with a machine gun there for some reason. So that's an FW bomber. They are ahead of us some points, but we are kind of catching up. And we are ahead on planes, but only just. What is that? I can't actually see. Should I go after this? Maybe. All kills help us at the moment. He is actually fairly close. Rather than relying on the air defence aircraft, there we go. And we've recapped that base as well. I think, again, this is going to be an unusual close one, but I think we'll actually have maybe a decent chance of winning this. We've actually now got 4 out of the 5 bases. Like, everybody would have to die very suddenly, because they've only got 3 planes left, so that everybody would have to die very suddenly. Right, P-51A, let's go and help out our whatever this is. This IL-2, which is hanging on somehow. I gotta admit though that for all my defence of, you know, Bourbons and tea, nothing beats a hobnob. Hobnobs are quite possibly the best biscuit. Should be able to kill this guy quite soon. There we go.
Almost all enemy aircraft
We actually got a grade
destroyed.
out of that, and this 129 is going to be one of the last planes, but we're about to win on points anyway. There we go.
Proud of you, pilot.
We actually won.
Head back home.
I think I've done alright in terms of win rate. I think I'm not completely horrible at this game. I'm certainly no expert. But, yeah. I feel like I'm probably at least okay. I've asked about that Ikeboo. All I was told is that they will be back at some point. Oh, you had one of the novelty hobnobs. Well, you know, that was your first mistake. You either have to have the plain hobnobs or the milk chocolate hobnobs. The dark chocolate ones are okay as well. But the novelty hobnobs, no. But yeah, I have asked about replays, and I've just been told at some point they'll be reintroduced. But I don't know when. I'm in with a cool crowd. I mean, I can ask again. Wow, we really didn't make a lot of profit out of that one. Only 18k. But was my score not that good? I don't know. Yeah, my score wasn't that good, but I at least got a grade this time. Oh wow, 109F did very well. Yeah, so what was I saying? I can ask again, but I don't think I'll get a more concrete answer than I did last time. It might be, well, maybe that's why it has been, if it's completely unstable, maybe that's why they've been just entirely disabled. So we're at the 2-hour mark, just about, and I think I'm going to probably wrap things up here, because this wasn't going to be a super long stream to begin with. And I am going to go and have dinner at my parents' in the not too distant future anyway, so... this seems like a fairly good juncture to end the stream, so I'm just going to put my following list and see who we can host. Nerd Cubed is playing Bomber Crew at the moment. I like his videos to some extent, but I don't enjoy his live streams so much. Who else is going? Well, TC Freer is playing World of Warships. We'll host TC Freer. Why not? So thank you all for tuning in. This has been a surprising number of viewers for World of Warplanes. Thank you also to those who have hit the follow button and those who have actually subscribed. I think we're up to like 10 subs now, 11 subs. There's probably something somewhere that tells me how many subs I've got exactly. But anyway, enjoy the rest of the day, wherever you are, and I shall see you next time.